no big little legs. Skinny kid with plenty.
Damn, the Dallas Mavericks low-key made a sleeper trade today. Tim Hardaway is gone, right? I know a lot of Mavericks fans were not happy with Tim Hardaway. He had a very bad second half of the season, even though it started really good. But they get Quentin Grimes, and to me, this is like very interesting, and not a lot of people are talking about it. They give up 3 second-round picks in Tim Hardaway, but how valuable really are second-round picks? And Tim Hardaway, how old is he? He's getting a little bit older. He wasn't happy there. So they already said earlier that it was a rumor in the week that they wanted to get rid of him. In my opinion, I was like, there's no really trade market for Tim Hardaway. Who's going to want him? The Pistons just gave away a gem. Because in my opinion, Quentin Grimes is a very solid, underrated player. And I was actually kind of confused when the Knicks traded him. But I understood they had to because he wanted a bigger role. Kind of sounds like the Tim Hardaway thing. Like, he's not just a catch and shoot player, but in this league, his role is more of that 3-and-D player. And that's what the Dallas Mavericks need. We've seen them missing that in the finals. They had PJ Washington, but that was about it. Derrick Jones Jr. got played out of the lineup because he couldn't shoot. Quentin Grimes is a really good catch and shoot 3-and-D type of player. The problem is when he went to Detroit, he did not play good. He only played 6 games, right? He didn't start any games. He averaged about 19 minutes a game, but he shot 14% from 3. But going back to how he played for the New York Knicks, he was always a 38% shooter, basically, until the end, 36. He's a pretty good shooter, but what he's really known for is his defense. In my opinion, it's basically Tim Hardaway, but a younger version of him. He's only 23 years old. So you're basically resetting for a couple draft picks. They're hoping that his potential's there because in his second season, he did average 11 points a game, 7-7. Last year, it was probably his worst season. And I'm not going to say his worst season. He had really high expectations last year. I mean, his rookie season, he kind of shocked everybody. So his second season, you see, he averaged 30 points a game. He started 66 games, and that's why he averaged 11. He shot 39% from 3, almost a 40% three-point shooter by just catch and shooting. He averaged about 6 attempts a game, which is pretty decent. And on top of that, he could play defense. You might not see it with his steals number, but he's a great defender, right? The problem is, last season for the Knicks, he only started 18 games. He's seen his minutes cut drastically. His attempts went down a little bit. His volume went down. And the problem was he got very upset. So that's one thing to monitor with him going to Dallas is he going to get upset with not touching the ball? Because most likely he's probably not going to. We've seen a player like Tim Hardaway get upset playing for the Dallas Mavericks. And in my opinion, it's the same type of player. They have the same type of mindset. In hindsight, it looks like a very good trade for the Dallas Mavericks because they get a younger Tim Hardaway, barely giving up anything, who has a lot of upside and actually is a way better defender than Tim. But my fear is that he is going to get upset with not touching the ball. So that's the biggest downfall of this whole thing. You know, that's the negative side of looking at things. But the positive side is they got an upgraded defender from Tim Hardaway, and they didn't really give up much. They got a young 23-year-old player that they could develop. But I honestly think this is just the start for Dallas because they still have a lot of work to do. This is just one, basically just replacing Tim Hardaway because they needed Tim Hardaway. He was a big part of that team in the earlier portion of the season, and towards the end they were missing that, and it felt like they were missing something. So this is the start for the Dallas Mavericks. How you guys feeling? We got free agency in a couple days. Today is the deadline to see if you're going to opt in or out of your contracts. So we're gonna see how things are gonna play out, but I do think Dallas needs a couple more shooters and some maybe taller wings because Quentin Grimes is only 6'5", 205 pounds. He's a shooting guard. He's not a wing. So how you guys feeling about Quentin Grimes signing, Mavs fans? Leave your voice down below in the comments.